wrestling right here. Dusty Rose, the American Dream. It ain't no doubt. It ain't no doubt. Flair, bring that old cashmere coat out here. Gee, I love.
Can't help it that I'm custom made. I can't help it that I look good, smell good, can dance all night long.
Hey, welcome to Fifth. Oh my God, I was about to say Fifth Down Sports, Deets. I watch too much.
Hey,
you ever trade my brain, Deets? God damn, I was on your shit yesterday. You got me in. But anyway, welcome to Midday Sports with Mr. Fifth Down himself, Chris Deets. How you doing? How was your weekend, man?
it was good. It was great. We did a we did finish the greatest TV family yesterday. So Summer of Greatness is going good, and everything's been going well, man.
Man, so who ended up winning?
It ended up being Family Matters. Carl Winslow getting the win. It came down to Carl. It came down to Family Matters versus Happy Days.
You can't beat that. You can't beat that. What's up, Alamo?
And the winning category was was who had the best father, and Carl Winslow's going to win that every time. So
you can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with that, man. It was definitely a great TV show in the 90s. You know what I mean? You can't go wrong with Urkel, and you know what I mean, and all the characters on that show. Laura, and you finally getting Laura at the end and going to the moon. You can't make a better story than that.
No, and when you're talking, we were talking families. I mean, that whole show is just based around the family. So it worked out. No, I didn't really think they would get that far, and they end up winning the whole thing. So I'm always happy when it's somebody I didn't expect. So and to be honest, there weren't any arguments. I mean, when I went through the categories, I was like, yeah, it fits. It fits. It works. So no, it was a good show yesterday. And thanks for jumping in. Thanks for jumping on. And that's what we do. We just take it as is.
And that's the major.
Whoever comes on, we just roll with it. So.
That's the good thing about networking, you know what I mean, and you know what I mean, showing love, man. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we all trying to build for a common goal, and just to build, you know what I mean, to give our honest opinion. Is nothing scripted, and people really putting the work in. So you know what I mean, you got to show love.
Exactly. I just can't wait. I just can't wait, man. We only got a couple more months, then we'll be back to college football. So
I can't wait either, man. So yes. Since you already tackled on that, man, we might as well go straight to it, man. What are your thoughts about what's going on with the Northwestern coach with this hazing investigation? This university saying, "Hey, we're going to suspend you." What's your thoughts about that?
Well, I was doing a lot of reading on this, and the kids have come out and said whatever. The current players on the team wrote a letter to the president that said everything that's being alleged here is exaggerated and is way out of proportion. And even the president himself has said maybe I acted too hastily in this. So I think they're doing the right thing. I think as a coach, the buck stops with you. So there's none of this. Oh, coach didn't know about this. Coach, no. If something happened on your watch, you can't say I didn't know about it because it's your job to know about it. It's your job to know that it's going on, and it's your job to shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
That's your job as a coach. That's job number one as a coach, especially as a college coach, is to mold these players. And that's the first thing that you should be doing. So there shouldn't be any of this, oh, coach didn't know about it. Well, if he didn't know, that's a bigger problem than if something happened and something was going on and he put a stop to it. That then I could get. But as I read on this situation, it looks like this is gonna be. It looks like this is gonna be more. It's gonna be a media thing where they took it to the extreme, and it's really not as big. It's not as big as it's being made out to be. That's what I'm getting from the stuff, from the evidence I have.
Hey, with summer workouts and stuff going on, and you know how it used to be in high school. You know what I mean? You even also played college baseball, so the hazing has always been big part of sports. Especially football, and my cross country we had a hazing thing for newer people in the team. So it's part of the culture, but I don't think it's that deep, like you said.
I mean, I've been a part of so many teams.
Mm-hmm.
From high school football to high school track to college football, college track, college cross country, college baseball. I've been a part of all these things. There's hazing that goes on,
mm-hmm.
but it's never gotten to a level where these guys took it to the extreme level.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, the guys that are the people that are whining about this, like, that's what happens as part of a team. Like, you go through that, you go through certain things that, you really can't, if you weren't there, you can't explain it. Like, if I explained a lot of the things that we did, a lot of people would go, oh my God, that's crazy. And you'd just be like, nah, that's just what we did. That was part of growing as a team. And when we came out the other side of it, everybody, like, it was like, all right, we went through that. We're never speaking of it again. And that's it. But so I've never had any of this hazing stuff. Like, I never understood that stuff.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it should be a certain level. If it gets too crazy, somebody should be able to check. But like, yo, you're going too far on the team. It's got to be some kind of captains say, man, if it got too far, yeah, we're not doing this. You know what I mean? It's playful, but it's the levels to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it at some point, common sense has to come in. Like, this. All right, this is crazy. Like, let's not get crazy with this, because the last thing you want to have is somebody gets
hurt,
somebody gets injured because of something stupid. Like, if somebody gets hurt on the field, that's one thing. If you get hurt doing something stupid off the field, that's a whole different thing. But with Pat Fitzgerald, the weird thing is that this happens to Pat Fitzgerald. I mean, I don't think anything could happen. Pat Fitzgerald is Northwestern football. Mm-hmm. If Northwestern if this president decides
to get about having Larry Nasser. Who's Larry Nasser? What are you talking about, Larry Nasser?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Larry Nasser.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. What happened?
This is the first I'm hearing about it, so I'll have to look that up. But going back to Pat, I mean, there have been people that have been trying to get Pat Fitzgerald fired for years, and the guys led them to 2 Big Ten title games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and not to mention, he was a part of the best Northwestern team that ever played. That 94. That 95 Rose Bowl team. I mean, you're not getting rid of Pat. You're not getting rid of Pat Fitzgerald from Northwestern, and he's had chances to leave Northwestern, and he said no. So they should really be on the side of Pat Fitzgerald for this, and give him all benefit of the doubt. Until there's a smoking gun, or I was gonna say until there's a bloody glove. Like there's Pat Fitzgerald should be, any rumor should be like, all right, well, we'll investigate it and we'll see what happens. But Pat Fitzgerald should be fine.
Alamo, you see, got it stabbed up. Jeez. Golly.
Huh.
Oh, sometimes karma. But anyway.
Yeah.
But what are you been, you know what I mean, what she end up doing for the weekend? What sports events do you watch over the weekend?
Over the week, it's been I know who that guy is now.
Yeah, the gymnast doctor.
Oh, well, you know what? Good. I'm glad. I mean, like you said, karma's a bitch, dude.
Yeah, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you took advantage of all them young girls, you know what I mean? Their Olympic dreams, and you thought, you know what I mean, things were sweet. You could do it and get away with it. I don't feel bad for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Them girls were innocent. All they wanted to do was chase gold, and you took advantage of them. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
As far as sports this weekend, I had a lot going on. I had a lot going on this weekend. What did I watch this weekend? I was just watching baseball this weekend.
Oh, so I'm glad you hit that.
I watched the Yankees, the Yankees and the Cubs.
That was a good game.
And I watched the Mets lose to the Padres in the 9th inning.
Man, what's going on with your Mets, man?
They're typical Mets. They can't pitch. They can't hit. I mean, Pete Alonso leads the league in home runs, and the Mets can't score runs.
Yeah.
That's just typical Mets. But your Orioles are killing it right now.
Let's talk about it. Talk about them. Hey, Deets, there's no way in hell I thought my Orioles going to get this 54 wins this early. You know what I mean? In the season, I didn't expect this from them, especially Rushman. Which odds do you have? How many home runs do you think he's going to hit in the home run derby?
Well, the derby is different now. It's different than it was before, where now it's timed rather than being you get 10 outs.
Uh-huh.
Which I want them to go back. I like the 10 out. I like the 10
you like
outs.
the 10 outs better?
I like the 10 outs because I like to see guys hit the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as how many home runs he'll get, I don't think he'll get that. I don't think he'll get, he'll go head to head, and I think he'll get something like 20, 22, 23 in the first round. But it all depends on who he goes up against.
Yeah, like that's what's kind of worries me. And And you know what I mean? As a Baltimore Oriole fan, I just worry about all this talent we grooming, man, about to leave, man. It's like when you break up with your girlfriend, she break up with you before homecoming. Like I'm gonna be sad like that. You know what I mean? Because we don't pay nobody. We don't got the money with the, our media is real small.
Well,
Maryland's real small.
look what they did. Look what they did.
I
The
didn't know.
The Yankees cut Aaron Hicks, and what did Baltimore do? They picked him right up. And I was talking to a guy on Saturday who is an Orioles fan, and he put me on. I gotta do the research on this, but apparently, when the Yankees got rid of Aaron Hicks, there was the hitting coach for the Orioles. Went to the general manager and said, pick this guy up. And they were like, why? He's batting this. And he's like, no, there's a hitch in his swing. And they brought him in and immediately they said, here, we're going to do this. We're going to fix your swing. And they fixed his swing, and look what he's doing now. So.
Yeah, man, I'm really liking what we're doing, man. I didn't hear it, man. Somebody put me on game. You know me, a Phillies fan. He said we're still paying Chris Davis.
Mm-hmm.
He got one. Who's the guy from the Mets that still got that?
Well,
long
you're talking Orioles. You're talking Orioles and Mets. The Orioles are still paying Bobby Bonilla. The Mets are still paying Bobby Bonilla. I mean, it was just last weekend. Last weekend was Bobby Bonilla Day. If Bobby Bonilla got paid by the Mets, he gets paid by the Mets until I think 28 or 28 or 30, somewhere around there.
Yeah, like how long have you been retired for? How many years?
He's been retired. He's been retired for almost 20 years.
God damn.
He gets like I think he gets like 2.5. I think he gets like 2.5 million a year. Bobby Bonilla is the best business guy in all of sports. He's been paid more in his retirement than he was in his playing career.
That shit is crazy. Beats. You about to go? Man, that Cubs game had me kind of shook. I was expecting the Cubbies to do that.
Well, I mean, the Yankees just can't score runs.
No,
I was watching them on Saturday. It was 2-0, and I was like, "This game's over."
Mm-hmm.
The game, I was like, "It's 2-0. The game's over because the Yankees can't score."
What you think is the biggest problem for the Phillies this year? They feel like they're flat, like a Coca-Cola. You got out of Walmart.
I think the Phillies are what the Phillies are.
Mm-hmm.
I think what happened is everybody thought, oh, they're going to be the same team they were in the playoffs, and that's not baseball. Baseball is 162 games.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a 7-game series.
Mm-hmm.
The Phillies are tough in a 7-game series, but in 162. They're not built for the season. Now, if they get into the playoffs, which the wild card with the extension of the wild card, all you have to do is get in. You get in, it's you get that play-in game, and then it's a 3-game series. Then it's a 7-game series. And in a series, the Phillies are a tough out.
That bullpen don't look the same like last year. It was kind of like you said, it was the playoffs though. But this bullpen looks kind of, the arms look real flat. They can't get enough outs.
Well, they spent. You look at where the Phillies spent a lot of their money. I mean, they picked up Trey Turner. They picked up. They spent a lot of their money on their lineup.
What do you think
about
Trey Turner?
You don't have the money for the bullpen. Your bullpen's gonna get run through. And I think a lot of teams are running into that because when your pitchers are only going 5 innings, your bullpen is going to be taxed. You can't consistently have pitchers go 5 innings and pull guys at 80 pitches. You gotta let guys, especially now. We're talking mid-July.
Mm-hmm.
Guys should be throwing 100, 110 pitches and going 7-8 innings.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, your bullpen is going to at some point your bullpen just is you can't consistently pitch 5 innings and get away with that. It's not going to work. That's why this whole money ball, this whole new way of pitch counts and all this stuff. Like, no, it doesn't work. I mean, you talk about. I saw it the other day. The Tigers had a no-hitter?
Yeah.
That doesn't count. You can celebrate it as much as you want, but a combined no-hitter is not a no-hitter. All right, that's a bunch of guys pitched. All right, good. No-hitter is like when Roy Halladay is out there throwing 140 pitches to get a no-hitter. Like that
guy was a monster.
That's a no-hitter that I'll celebrate. I'm not going to celebrate three guys pitching a no-hitter. It doesn't work that way.
The guy was a monster. That guy was a monster, man. But let's move on, man. Let's talk about Dwight Howard's comments, man. How do you feel about him saying in his prime he thinks he's better than Jokic, man? What's your thoughts about that?
They're two different. They're two totally different players. Mm-hmm. Now, in his prime, look, in his prime, Dwight Howard could defend Jokic. Yes, he could. In his prime, Dwight Howard could never score the way Jokic does.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a trade-off of what you have, but you look at it. Jokic won a champ. Jokic is a multiple-time MVP.
Yep.
And won a championship.
Mm-hmm.
Dwight Howard had to go to the Lakers to get a championship.
Yeah, but let's say this though, Deets.
You know,
we got to give him praise for one thing. Jameer Nelson is not Jamal Murray.
No, I was just gonna say that he took a Magic team that had no business being in a finals, took them to a finals, but we saw what happened when they got to the finals. Yeah. They got smacked down
by the Mamba.
They got smacked down in that finals, but they had no business being there other than Dwight Howard was a monster. But he was, again, the comments of, I don't take that. I don't care. Dwight Howard should feel that way. I mean, if I were Dwight Howard, this isn't a guy who has to go against Jokic. This is a guy who played his whole career already. Mm-hmm. He's sitting at home. He probably does feel that way, but I'm telling you right now, Dwight, you're not going to score. Jokic is going to score, and you're not. Dwight Howard was never an offensive player.
But let me say this, though, man.
But he was a monster on defense.
I feel like, honestly, people, like I talked to Cole Johnson, a.k.a. RZA of production, and Cole, and, on the chat. I told him, I said, man, people forget about how good his prime was, though. We haven't seen a center go in a dunk contest since Dwight Howard. When the last center you seen go in a dunk contest and win one? You know
when's the last real player gotten into the dunk contest?
Yeah. You're right.
The dunk contest is a joke now. A G League dude won the dunk contest last year.
But I gotta say this, Deets. I know it's not PC what I'm about to say, but that dunk contest, he was a way better dunker than Brent Berry. I don't know how Brent Berry won it.
Brent Berry won because he dunked from the foul line.
But
and
it was
like
gimmicky.
that was like the big
jokes.
thing back. That was the big thing. That was the big thing at that time was how far can you? He was a long jumper, and he did it well beyond the foul line. Brent Berry's dunk that's a sick dunk. Yes, everybody likes the flash, but he was a full foot behind the foul line and took off from there and still dunked it. So I that was the thing back then. Now it's all everything is a flash. The dunk contest they need to just scrap it. There's nothing else that's going to happen in the dunk contest.
Like the last good one I seen, that shit probably was like 07, 08 area with, you know what I mean, Nate Robinson and you know what I mean, them boys right there. That was a good dunk contest. And Vince Carter. Vince Carter was like
Vince Carter's the king. Vince Carter's the king of dunks.
You know
the
what
king
I mean?
of dunking.
Like that's a classic one. Like, but anyway, like I think people forget how good Dwight Howard was. A 3-time defensive player of the year. You know what I mean?
But the problem is we talk about how good Dwight Howard was in his prime. His prime was those 3-4 years.
Yeah.
You know, that was his prime. Because once he left the Magic, everything went downhill.
But you know what I mean? Yeah, I give you that because his body broke down. It's, you know what I mean? That's going to happen when you're that big. Your body's going to eventually break down. Look at Larry. Larry's back was going out. You know what I mean? Is this sometimes people just got bad luck with injuries, especially back injuries. A lot of common in basketball, back injuries.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like you know, and anybody that wants to talk about Dwight couldn't handle. I think Dwight could have handled Jokic in his prime. But the thing is, Jokic's prime is still going.
Exactly.
Jokic is still in his. He hasn't even hit his stride yet. That's how scary Jokic is.
It definitely was. Definitely. They definitely took care of him though. Him and JaVale McGee took care of him in the bubble. I'm gonna leave that alone though, Deets. I'm gonna leave that alone.
In the bubble, Jokic that was what? Jokic's rookie year.
Hey, doesn't matter, Deets.
Come on.
But man, without these rookies in the summer league, have you been watching summer league, or you don't care about?
I don't pay attention to any of that. I don't care. I don't care what they do out in Vegas. Like I don't put any stock in. Oh, this guy. You know, they said something about like Wayamba was up and down and blah. I'm like, as long as they played and they didn't get hurt, that's who cares.
I think the one thing about it is, man, he just need to gain some weight, man. It's just, I think that weight problem is going to be too much for him to handle with them big fives. I think you probably had to put him at the 4.
I said it when he got drafted. I mean, the guy he's not going to be able to bang. He's not going to be able to bang, and he's not going to be able to go inside at all. The one dude. We'll get to that. We'll get to that story in a minute. But to finish on Wayamba, I mean, that's the thing about these guys. We didn't get to talk about the draft here, but I said it on another program, dude. Look at the top 5 picks in the draft. The top 5 picks in the NBA draft this year. I don't know any of them. I know one guy. I knew one guy.
What one guy you know?
Brandon Miller. And the only reason I know Brandon Miller is because he killed somebody.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I know about him is in Tennessee they were chanting "lock him up," and they weren't talking about defense. They were talking about that he should be arrested. Because and and I don't mean he killed somebody. He was accused. He was accused of being I guess associate or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only of the top five in the NBA draft. Those are the only guys I knew. I went on another show. I went on my boy Lou's show, and I read off. I just picked a random year in the 90s. Year in the 90s.
My guy's here. My guy is here.
Let me just finish this.
Go ahead, Deets.
You pick any year in the 90s. I can remember all. I went through 20 picks, and I was like, I remember all these guys playing college basketball. I remember their college basketball careers. The top 5 in the NBA. I don't know a single one of them. I don't know a single one of these guys, and I don't care. The NBA needs to change this because I don't know any of these guys coming in, and therefore I don't care about them.
Let me tell you, college basketball about to be over with. You see, all the top guys went from the G League and be top picks. You think about Unite.
You think about the NFL. You think about the NFL draft. The NFL draft, people are excited about their people that they drafted in the 5th round. People are excited about their 5th round NFL draft pick. Is anybody excited about any NBA draft pick? Nobody cared except for the top guy who went to the Spurs. Nobody else cares. Nobody else is saying, "All right, this guy's going to change our team next year." Nobody's saying that about any of these guys. That's a problem. That's a problem for the NBA. They need to fix that. They need to make these kids stay in college so we know who they are when they get drafted.
People are not going to do that if they can get the money. The NIL deal, they're making the same amount of money with the Unite team. They get a partnership with shoe deals. They get commercials. That's why the NFL does. That's why the NFL has the 3. You have to be 3 years removed from high school. It's not. Don't listen to any of these people that say, "Oh, it's a safety reason." It's not about safety. It's about promotion. It's about when these guys are 3 years removed, they have 3 years of college football that they have a built-in fan base when they come to the NFL. That's why people know who they are. That's why people know who their 6th round draft pick is more than you know your 1st round NBA draft pick. That's why. It's not about safety. It's about promotion. It's about these guys have a backing when they come in. But a lot of them are already going to tell you they got promotion. They got Instagram. People who just want to see somebody dunk beats. That's it. They don't care. They care about what they're doing outside the court, and that's how people engage. That's how younger people engage. The teenagers
and if that's how no, because if you're running a program, if you're running a team. And you get a draft pick, you want to be able to promote them from day one. And if you're running a league, you cannot run a league. You cannot run a league where nobody knows who's coming into your league. If nobody knows them, they're not going to care. They're not going to care when the season comes up. So the NFL, that's something the NBA needs to. They need to address that. It's either go to the draft straight out. Get rid of the one and done. Get rid of the one and done. Get rid of it. Scrap that and make it like baseball. You can, if you come out of high school, you can go to the draft. But if you go to college, you are going to college for 3 years, and you go to college for 3 years, and then you can come back in the draft.
I don't think they never going to do that.
So you telling me that you want, if you're not coming straight out of high school, that you have to do mandatory 3 years. So what's the difference? So what's the point of doing the 3 years if you can automatically come out of high school? Because the
point of staying in college for 3 years is that You build a fan base. You build a fan base. You don't build a fan base by going one year and leaving. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about most people that watch, except for the diehard college basketball fan. Diehard college basketball fan will know who you are. But most people who watch basketball and most people who watch NBA basketball, they don't even watch college basketball until March Madness. So you're really only getting to see those guys for 2-3 games, unless they're on a championship team, and then you get to see them 4 or 5 games. You need to have those. And I just look back to pick any year in the 90s. I can go through the top 10 picks and go, the one I picked, the 1 year I picked, of course, was the greatest draft of all time, the 96. But Allen Iverson. I watched Allen Iverson play for 3 years. I hated Georgetown, but I loved watching Allen Iverson play, and I can remember Allen Iverson at Georgetown.
All right, go ahead, Dev.
But the way social media is set up these days now, that these kids are getting exposure early, especially like in the AAU, so they automatically get in the fan base at an early age. So that's not bringing money.
Social media is not bringing money to that's not bringing money to the NBA. The NBA needs to. The NBA can't promote off social media.
But it can.
It's the same. It's the same thing we talk about all the time with we talk about it with Hollywood right now, with movies. They're making things, this will be good. This will get us love on social media. That doesn't turn into dollars.
All right,
that doesn't equate. And that's a problem. That's a problem for the NBA.
All right, let
the
Dev
NBA
go.
is a business, and they need to run it like a business.
Go ahead, Dev. Before we get that, the Adam Vinatieri shit.
I'm looking at it is, we all knew. Let's use Zion for example. When Zion was in AAU in high school, we knew who Zion was before he went to Duke, and they was already putting money. They already trying to generate money because of his face, of his brand that he was bringing into the NBA. So the NBA is kind of getting money. It's just not getting money in the early part of the stage because we got to wait to see what the brand looks like once he gets onto the bigger stage. So I feel like the social media part, like the kids are already getting acknowledged and getting noticed before they even make it even big, because like now, look at Carmelo Anthony's son. You know what I mean? He's already getting exposure, just number one, for who his dad was, number two, for who his name is, and then number three, for the type of player that they already projected him to be. They already projected him to be a lottery pick, and he's nowhere near the draft yet. So I think like social media is already bringing in the revenue. It's just not getting the revenue in the early part of what they're looking for. Because like I said, each year the NBA revenue is keep going up. And we always keep asking questions like, well, dang, how does it keep going up if we keep getting the same teams on the same network, if we getting the same teams that's or the same players getting played on the same network every night in and out? So I think the social media platform, like the NBA junior leagues and stuff like that, is playing in a part. And it's automatically taking the college part out of the game now, because I think the college then dropped the ball a couple years ago when they didn't allow the NIL deal to be in place and let these college players get paid. And that's what, because Brandon Jennings then showed us the way of getting paid. You don't have to go to college. You can just go overseas at the high school, you can build your fan base there, and like Brandon Jennings did, came back over here and got drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks and was still a lottery pick. So it's so many different ways that you can go about being instead of going through college, you get drafted. Because now look at the NBA Ignite thing, how Scoot Henderson did. Nobody really paid attention, even if he did went to college. We all know Scoot from playing in the Ignite team. So I just think that college, if you're going to eliminate college throughout the whole deal, you got to take them out completely. It's either you're going to play college ball for 4 years, 3 to 4 years, or you don't play college ball at all. It just, you know what I mean? I just think that.
Well, that's what I said. That would be my thing is you either come straight out, but once you say I'm going to play college basketball, you are there for and it doesn't have to be 3. I could go for 2. I could go for 2.
Because
you have to play multiple years if you decide to go to college. And that's the base. I just went with the baseball rule. The baseball rule is if you get drafted straight out of high school, you can get drafted. And even if you don't like your pick, if you don't like where you get drafted in baseball, you can say, nah, I'm going to college. But once you say I'm going to college in baseball, you go to college and you play 3 years of college baseball, and then you re-enter the draft at that point. Because there are going to be exceptions. There are going to be exceptions to this rule that guys who we know their AAU, we know them through that. They shouldn't have to go to college. But the guys who do shouldn't be doing this one and done thing. It's not working. It's not working for both. It's not working for college and it's not working for the pros because nobody knows these kids.
Before we move on to the next topic, I think you have to do 2 years because look at these powerhouses. They got people coming in every year. So if you do 4 years, you can't take the next top. You can't build your recruiting class if you make somebody do 4 years. You're gonna be over the rotation. Gonna be too big. You can't only have so many players. So I think it will have to be 2. But anyway, before we go on. Dev, give your case why your boy Justin Tucker is the best.
Oh, that's what I've been waiting for. All right, reason why I say Justin Tucker is the best kicker of all time is number one, he got the strongest legs that a kicker can possibly ever have. He's the only kicker that kicked a 65 plus yarder, and it was a game winner. Number two, he is the most accurate kicker of all time. He's still in the 90. I think he's like 91.6% in field goals that's 50 and under. That's already blowing out any kicker that ever walked or kicked on that gridiron field. Number three. I mean, he is the most accurate kicker kicking from 50 and beyond in the NFL history. So that's those stats, those 2 stats mainly right there is the reason why I solidify him being the best kicker because it's a lot of kickers. Because we had like Sebastian Janikowski, one of the strongest leg kickers in NFL history, but was not that accurate. You know what I mean? I think he finished his career finishing at just above 70%, all in all around in all yards. So you can have the strongest leg, you can be the biggest kicker and all that, but you have to be accurate. And as far as Justin Tucker, he is the most accurate kicker. It doesn't matter where you put him at on the field. It's like now it got to the point that even if he decides to try to kick a 70-yarder, I guarantee you, even if you're not a Ravens fan, you're going to scratch your head and be like, damn, I wonder if he really can hit that. And you're going to be on the edge of your chair. If there's any other kicker right now, you're not going to really talk about, well, you're not even going to give him a chance to even try to kick a 70-yarder. So you'll give Justin Tucker any opportunity that you possibly can to make sure that he's automatic because he's going to be automatic almost no matter where he's kicking it at. And he got a Super Bowl ring underneath his belt. That's the only thing that y'all boy Adam Vinatieri have over Justin Tucker is the rings case.
No, hold up.
What else you got then, bro? What else you got?
He had him on the biggest stages when it mattered the most in playoffs and Super Bowls.
Because number one of those rings ain't supposed to.
Hey, I'm telling you this though, Dev. before that tuck rule, he sealed the game. These are my line with that great kick in the snow, and that was the beginning of the dynasty. That was the beginning right there. That was the beginning right there. He hit the big kick against against the Rams. You know what I mean?
That tuck rule shouldn't have counted. That shouldn't even count.
I'm telling you, without this man right here, a lot of people wouldn't have rings. One of the greatest quarterbacks, Peyton Manning. He helped his legacy bringing that championship to the Colts with some major kicks.
That's the thing. Justin Tucker is only going to play for one team. He's not going to be able to play more.
I'm just saying, right? The biggest moments, the man didn't whelp. You know what I mean? He didn't turn like no grapefruit and pop. He's always even kill with his kicking. Never got really when he got older at 46, he kind of had a drop off, right? But he came back week 8. You know what I mean? When he was struggling, hit a clutch kick for the Colts. What do you mean his average? What is percentage? 83%? Like 83%?
83.
83.
It's not showing that he's the greatest now.
But I'm saying the playoffs. I'm going by playoffs in the biggest moment. How many playoff runs did Vinatieri had? I mean, not Vinatieri, Justin Tucker had.
Justin Tucker had he had a couple playoff runs now. You gotta think we was in the playoffs last year. We was in the playoffs the year before. He won us a Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl with us too in 2012.
But he's a one-hit wonder.
And he got multiple Pro Bowls. How many Pro Bowls?
But the longevity, 24 season. Justin Tucker is not going to do no 24 seasons.
Man, Adam Vinatieri ain't going to get no 24
seasons. He had 24 seasons. He played 24 seasons.
How many seasons he played as the most accurate kicker though? Because
he led the league in scoring as a kicker.
Because Justin Tucker is going on his 10th year leading the kickers.
He led the league in scoring for kickers in 2004. That was ages ago. He had the most consecutive field goals made at 44. This man was the problem.
The thing about it, Justin Tucker is going to blow that out the water though, because you
better hope.
Justin Tucker is only. I think he's in his mid-30s.
I'll give you this. Your boy Justin Tucker got more Pro Bowls than him. That's it.
Only thing
that Pro Bowl is a popularity contest.
Only thing Vinatieri got is more rings, and that's not even due because of him. That's due.
It is by him. It is by him.
It was only one that would be by him, but most of it is because of Tom Brady.
No.
If Justin Tucker had a Tom Brady, we wouldn't have this conversation.
Deets, be the third party, Deets. How many times he bailed the Patriots out in playoff games, nailing them in Super Bowls?
So Justin Tucker, just to be completely on here, Justin Tucker at the end of the 2022 season has made 363 field goals. Adam Vinatieri made 600 in his career.
And you said in his career, right?
So Tucker's got a ways to go. Now Tucker's only been 10 years. He's got 363, so he'll need, I'm just trying to do the math here. He'll need probably another 8-9 seasons.
And we're going to catch him.
And tell him by career points. How much you got?
When we sit here and talk about this, you brought up the right word. Justin Tucker is the best kicker we've ever seen. As far as accuracy, as far as leg strength, most skilled kicker we've ever seen. But when you start talking about greatness, you start talking about iconic moments. What's the iconic kick that comes to mind when you think of Justin Tucker? I don't have that 65-yarder. That's about it.
65.
When you think about Adam Vinatieri, you immediately go to the Carolina Super Bowl. You go to the Rams Super Bowl. You go to the as much as we want to say, the Tuck rule and all that doesn't matter.
In the snow.
It doesn't matter because we saw him kick that field goal. That's still an iconic. That is an iconic moment. The kick in the snow is an iconic moment. Adam Vinatieri has those iconic moments. Justin Tucker doesn't have an iconic moment. He's going to get beat on that every time.
Only for the simple fact that the Patriots was able to be on the iconic stages. Look how many Super Bowl runs and playoff runs versus what the Ravens did. And you got to sit here and think, for a Ravens that just been established since 1996, we are in the top 5 of most winning games, right behind the Patriots. So if let's put Justin Tucker on those Patriots teams, and then put Adam Vinatieri, or even we can just line up 10 for 10. Adam Vinatieri 10 years, his first 10 seasons versus Justin Tucker first 10 seasons.
It still wouldn't be a fair match.
It's only because of the Super Bowl appearances. If you take away,
it's still the biggest moments in the playoff, Dev. That's what I'm telling you.
Because of Tom Brady got him there to that stage. It's not like that he was leading the offense or was leading points. It was because
I told you he led the league in career points for a kicker in 04.
But in 04, did y'all win a bowl? I can't remember right now.
We did.
04, yes, they did win a Super Bowl.
And was Adam Vinatieri a Super Bowl MVP?
No kicker ever been a Super Bowl MVP.
No kicker's gonna be an MVP.
Come on, Dad. Come on, man. They ain't gonna have it. That's not gonna happen, cuz.
Of course it's never gonna happen. But at the same time, the way you putting it, you made it seem like Adam Vinatieri is the reason why the Patriots was in that predicament.
But he closed a lot of games for us, though.
Because of Tom Brady.
He's an X factor with his accuracy.
Because of Tom Brady put him in the predicament to close the game.
He still got to close it, though.
If you put him on the 50-yarder, you wasn't gambling with him. You was going to gamble with Tom more. You was going to gamble with Adam Vinatieri. They put him in short yardage and short yardage field goal range.
I'm saying this though, Dev. You got to understand how loud the fans are in the Super Bowl. The cameras flashing. People trying to ice you. People trying to ice you, and you hitting these field goals. That's different.
I heard about all the big stages, the flashing lights and all that. Flashing lights go through all year long.
He's the Mario Rivera of kicking. That's all I gotta say. He closed the games.
All right. You're going to have that then. You're going to have the closing the games. Like I said.
Your boy's nice. I ain't going to take it from him. He's nice. But he got a long way to go before he chased that ghost named Adam Vinatieri.
So you mentioned that a kicker.
Hold on, bro. I didn't even hear you. My fault.
You guys even know the name Mark Mosley? Do you know who that? Do you know who that is?
Mark Mosley. No,
he is the only kicker to ever win the NFL MVP.
Damn, I didn't even know that, Deeks. I didn't think that was possible.
But do you know why he won? Do you know why he won the MVP? Because the players went on strike. That was 1981 when they went on strike.
God,
that's the only way a kicker. That's the only way a kicker is ever going to be an MVP.
Yeah,
a kicker's never going to be.
That shit sound crazy.
Kicker's never going to be. The thing about a kicker is you are
Choking.
He's known for wide right. He's known for going wide right in the Super Bowl. But
like I told Deb, man, it was only for debate, man. I appreciate what he's doing, you know what I mean, with at the bank, man, and you know what I mean. Even though I watch a little bit, you know what I mean, see what my man's gonna say. You know what I mean. I hate the Ravens. You know what I mean. The Ravens they're like a distant cousin. You come over and try to steal your dishes. That's how the Ravens fans.
No, that's y'all ignorant Boston fans. Come down here and talk that little Boston slang and think y'all gonna be able to get away with it.
But you know what I mean. It's a friendly rivalry, man. You know what I mean. I like the Ravens fans more. I like the Bills fans and the Jet fans. But that's another story. But you know, go check what Dev is doing at, you know what I mean, the grid, you know what I mean, with the At the Bank, my thoughts, my opinion. You know what I mean? He got some good content out. Yes, get everybody monetized, man. That's at the end of the day, that's what everybody's goal is. Go support Dev, go support Fifth Down. And keep on supporting my channel, man. I appreciate you, Dev. Come checking in. Also, man, I gotta tell you this before we get out of here. Max Chrissy looking good. He's looking good. The young boy's looking good.
Them young cats are looking good. I can see Christie probably getting a little bit of time in the beginning of the season, but he got to take advantage once he get that little bit of time in the beginning of the season, because Coach Ham gonna be needing him down the line, you know, like we did Lonnie Walker last season. You know,
and Jalen Hood looking good too. And
I think he's gonna be a project though. I think he's gonna be, you know, he's gonna be going back and forth. Keep going G League to out, you know, up to the Lakers, back down to the G League. But I think he's gonna see more G League time than anything.
Hey, but the big vanilla chocolate thing at 7 foot, that boy's nice. The boy out of Florida, Colin Castleton, man. I'm liking his patience in that paint, his jumper.
Yeah.
We need that, man. Him, Jackson, and I gotta say this, man, before we get out of here. AD, go back to the 4. We're gonna have to play Hayes. We're gonna have to play Hayes.
You see, it's a rumor that we trying to go out here and get Christian Wood also out of free agency. So that'll be.
But Christian Wood don't play no defense. Pause. He don't like going hard on D. Pause.
Hey, we just need him to spread the flow out a little bit and go ahead and shoot a little bit. So I can take him just to be a decoy and a threat. But you know what, kid, before I get out of here, you know which kid and which team that's surprising me, and I keep telling people they're going to be the team to watch out for?
With the Rockets?
The Houston Rockets and Jabari Smith. Man, like, Shorty, he said that his rookie season, he didn't do so good, so he's coming out with vengeance in the Summer League and this upcoming season. So I'm watching out for him, man.
He's looking like, to me, like Chris Bosh with the Raptors. You know what I mean? He's kind of give me kind of that kind of feeling.
A little bit. He kind of gives me that vibe too. But he might got something though. He's gonna have to bulk up a little bit if he's planning on banging down there in the 4s a little bit. But he got something though.
But also somebody else is surprising me, man. You can go drop off if you got to. Chad Holmgren, I'm liking how lean he's looking. The boy look like he been eating some filet mignon on, you know me, off season and been bulking up. I'm liking his, you know, his blocking, his SWAT game. He's looking real good.
He gained about 7-8 pounds while he was rehabbing his foot. So,
and you know, I already like that boy. I already like that young boy with the Thunder. What's that boy's name? SGA. Alexander. Yeah. That boy not.
Due to my job, I haven't watched a lot of his games, but he sent me his highlight reel. Man, I'm gonna have to pay attention to SGA this upcoming season. He gonna be something special.
But all right, Dev, I appreciate you, brother. I'll see you
All
tonight.
right,
I'm
man.
gonna check in with you on ASAP Sports tonight. If y'all have one, I'm gonna
Oh, we
stop.
on tonight. We already confirmed that we on 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know where to catch us.
All right, man. Take it easy, man. Go support Dev, and you know what I mean. My thoughts and my opinion are also at the Bank Podcast.
Appreciate y'all.
All
Y'all
right,
have
thanks, Dev.
But
Before we get out of here, I forgot to mention this before when we were talking about sports over the weekend.
Mhm.
Did you see De La Cruz? Did you see him? Did you see him go? He went full Willie Mays Hayes.
man, that man got wheels, man.
He stole got on first, stole second, stole third, and then stole home.
Hey, Deets.
That was balls. That was balls, and it was awesome.
Why people don't run the bags like that no more like they used to?
That's
an art. Like
he got a single, stole second, stole third, and then stole home. That's a run right there. Like that, dude. That guy is bringing excitement back to baseball. He is exciting to watch. So
and you think about it, you can't really kind of play that bag game because it's a pitch clock. You can't, you know what I mean. So why people don't really take advantage of stealing bases is crazy to me.
Yeah, it was nuts. When I saw him steal home, that was nuts. That was insane.
Yeah, that definitely was insane, man.
But I like that. I like that, dude. And it's always good. It's always good when the Reds are doing good in baseball.
And for the trivia question of the day, man, I wanted to see does somebody know this question. So hit me in the comments. Which city did the Rams originally play in? That is the trivia for today. So if anybody knows it, please hit in the comments and put your answer in there. I'm trying something new. So if anybody knows, put it in the comments. And you know what I mean? This has been another day of Midday Sports with Rod Uncensored and my man Deets. Go check Fifth Down Sports. What you got coming up this week, man?
This week we got Sunday. We have the greatest sing-along song. Songs that come on that you immediately sing along. When it comes on the radio, you're singing along. When you're at the bar, the whole bar is singing along. So we're gonna do that we're gonna do that tournament on Sunday, and I got my buddy Billy's stag party on Saturday. So Sunday could be a very, very fun show because I will still be feeling the effects of that.
Okay.
So that should be really fun. But we'll be live. We'll be live at Z's Cafe on Sunday, live at the bar, doing our stuff, and that's what we got going on this week.
All right. You know what I mean? I enjoyed everybody who checked through. You know what I mean? My Fifth Down, Christie's coming through, and Dev of My Thoughts, My Opinion coming in at the bank. So I appreciate y'all. If anybody want to come on Midday Sports with Rod and the Lunch Crew, let me know at RodPod21. Also, if you would like to donate to the channel so I can get better sound quality and better equipment, it's Rod92Dean for my Cash App. You know what I mean? I'm trying to give y'all a better product, and I'm trying to make a better you know what I mean, content out here and giving you things. I don't give you no scripted sports shows like how the Disney is killing ESPN. You know what I mean? Look, I have multiple people if they want to come through, talk what they got to say, and you know what I mean? As long as it's not crazy, we all good with it over here. Also, check Fifth Down Sports. You can do the same thing at Fifth Down. If you got an opinion about something, even if he's doing a bracket, he'd be willing to listen to you. If you got a problem with your team or a gripe with your team, go check him out also. And it's just like that. And we're out of here. Make sure y'all have a good week. Hopefully stop raining on the East Coast, and we're out of here.
All right.